Welcome to the Old Fashioned Health Network, Good Health Inside and Out. I'm your host, Jazz, and I'm here with another installment of Behind the Body. I've been waiting to get this young lady here for some time. Tabatha Gatson, is that correct?
Gatson-Washington.
Gatson-Washington, excuse me.
It's a mouthful.
But what isn't a mouthful is GiGi.
Which is what I go by.
GiGi. So let's get into that. Why are you called GiGi? Why do people call you that?
My given name is Tabatha, but no one in fitness in Atlanta really knows that.
Okay.
I go by GiGi. I was Tabatha initially. Thank you, appreciate it. Most people don't realize it's biblical. They think about the little witch, and then I get the questions, oh, can you wiggle your nose? And I'm like, yes, but nothing happens, so.
Can you wiggle your nose?
Yes,
oh,
but
wow.
nothing will appear.
Okay.
But I got the name GiGi because I have two sons, and my oldest son, who's 30, he and his then girlfriend, his high school sweetheart, they came to, I flew them down for my first bodybuilding competition.
Okay.
A little over 5 years ago now, and I won. Brunch the next day at Copeland's over in Cumberland.
Yep.
And the jazz is going. It's like New Orleans, you know. The trumpets are blazing, loud music, basically. We're at the table. I had my nieces, my nephews, a lot of family had come in, and so then he says, "Mom, in October, you're going to be a grandmother." And I was like, what? Okay, she's mid-40s. She just won a bodybuilding contest. She beat like some 20-year-olds. Grandma ain't gonna cut it.
Okay, so that's off the list. Okay,
GiGi.
GiGi. Were you always active? Did you always have, a body as what you have right now? What was it like before, pre-GiGi?
That's a two-part question, or two different types of answers.
Okay.
I understand what you're asking, though.
Yeah. Okay.
I've always been active. I've never not been an active person. I've been active in my kids' life. I've been active just physically, but I was still overweight.
Gotcha.
I still had a weight problem.
Okay.
Accepted in my culture, right?
Yeah.
I was fine.
Oh, you still was fine.
Right?
And your culture was accepted.
Right,
Gotcha.
yeah. Because when you're thick and you're curvy and you have the hips and it's
and people
okay.
constantly telling you that.
And you look good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you can even feel good. But I actually knew that I had a weight problem because I always kind of battled it and I wasn't really happy. I'm 5 feet tall.
Okay.
At 10 years of age, I weighed 110 pounds. I grew up in Louisiana. Think about that. 150.
At what age?
At age of 10, I weighed like 150 pounds.
Whew.
I was always trying to work on it.
Okay.
Problem was, I was in the magazines looking at looking at what the little white girls were doing.
Gotcha.
I don't have a little white girl body.
Right.
I can't eat like a little, I can't eat like that. I can't even work out like that.
Right.
So that was my mistake for years.
Oh,
I'm trying to
copy.
Because 15, 20 years ago, it was different. The face of fitness and wellness and health,
it's totally different.
it was completely different.
Yeah.
There was no one really like me or you.
Right.
So if you wanted some information, you were getting it from sources that you really didn't relate to, but you didn't realize that.
Exactly.
So I was always like this. I couldn't figure out what worked.
Okay.
And then one day I just kind of had my freaking aha moment. And I just, like this is a magazine, did one of those numbers and decided, you know what, I'm going to do whatever the hell it is I want to do.
Okay.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do what I like.
Okay.
I'm going to eat what I like. And I'm just going to make it healthy. If it came from the seed, if I can pluck it from the ground, if I can peel it from a tree, God made it, it's good for me.
Okay.
I'm going to eat those things. I'm going to eat those things in moderation, and I'm going to do what's fun when it comes to exercise. And I realized what was fun for me, which was different from what I was reading in the magazines.
Right.
Way back then, they weren't talking a lot about HIIT.
Right.
But that's really what I started doing.
Right.
I started doing a lot of HIIT training.
Okay.
And a lot of weight training.
HIIT training?
High intensity is where you have short bursts of real intense exercise for short bursts of time and then a short little recovery period. And if you perform that half the time, maybe 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes compared to an hour of that cardio on a treadmill, sustained at moderate intensity, that's going to yield that's going to help your metabolism better. And with me, just kind of figuring out, doing what I liked now, what felt good to me, because that's what motivated me to kind of keep going and do different things. I realized I was strong. That's where the weights kind of came in at, so I incorporated a lot of weights doing these things.
And you did this by yourself? Anybody?
This was, I hadn't had nobody. This was me figuring it out, I decided I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm raising these knuckleheaded kids around here, dealing with this man, I'm a scientist, I'm managing a home, I'm doing all these things, but I can't take care of myself, and I'm taking care of everybody else. So I'm going to start taking care of myself. So they had to relearn how to organize the structure in the home, because I took myself from the bottom and I brought myself back up to the top one.
So your motivation came from within. It really wasn't an external force that motivated you. So now you're working out. So when did the competition part come into play? When did you say, I want to compete?
That actually kind of goes back to in my 20s. I'm from North Louisiana, Southern Arkansas, very rural, it's country. I actually wanted to get into bodybuilding way back then. I'm 50 now, so we're talking about 35 years ago.
She's 50 years old. Nobody believes that, by the way.
I am.
But continue.
But I wasn't an athlete, remember? But I wanted to get into bodybuilding because even then, like I told you, I've kind of always had this. I was trying to work out and exercise, and I was going to the Y, and I started teaching classes. They were like, "Oh my God, you look so fun and interesting. Can you So I actually started teaching some classes, doing like my little GiGi Jane Fonda like classes for them at the Y way back in the day. And there was this Brazilian woman who moved to El Dorado, Arkansas, and she competed. And I loved her physique. She was a physique competitor. And we just kind of hit it off, and she was, very encouraging. And she was like, "You could so do this." And I started trying to go on that path, and through that I met some other bodybuilders and went to a few shows, but I actually got sick, kind of real sick, and I just wasn't able to. So it just kind of passed, get married, have the kids.
But it was always still there.
It was always there.
So we're going to stop right there. So we're going to come back with the second part of the interview. Stay tuned. Be right back.
Hi there, healthy people. Do you have a healthy product or service? If you are a certified medical professional, fitness trainer, author, or chef, Old Fashioned Health would love to promote your services or product on the Old Fashioned Health radio show. Please reach out to us. Call 404-793-3960 or email us at oldfashionedhealth@gmail.com. You can also contact us at oldfashionedhealth.com. Old Fashioned Health, good health, inside and out.
Welcome back to Behind Your Body, part 2. With GiGi, and we left off where you were talking about your competition. So I want you to kind of quickly hit on your first experience competing. How did you feel? Were you nervous getting on stage? How did you feel getting on stage?
I still get nervous getting on stage, and I pose girls. Work with some guys too, and I make sure I tell them, if you are not nervous getting on stage, then you should probably just go ahead and exit left. Because that means you don't have that right desire inside of you to be on the stage out there with those other people. I just feel like you shouldn't go out there like.
No, I agree.
You know what I mean?
If you're nervous, to me, that means you put all the work.
You put all the work, and you're excited, and you have it's a sense of excitement. And it's.
I've been working for months to this point.
I've been working for months, exactly. But if you're not nervous, then something's wrong. But yeah, I was nervous, and I think, and I'm not one of these people where I think I'm just so amazing, but I'm very realistic, and I work with I'm around a lot of competitors, first starting out, and for their first show, they expect to take the whole thing.
They really expect to take the whole thing.
They expect. I mean, you should have high expectations.
Right.
You should go in wanting number one.
You should.
But.
And it can happen.
And it can happen, but usually, unless you have been, and these are people who did not have a perfect diet, they were cheating. They did not show up for every training session. Mm-hmm. They probably worked out an hour and a half every day. I work out, I'm not even competition mode, and I had an injury now that's gone. I work out, I work a full-time job, and I'm still in the gym like 2-3 hours a day. Okay. Not even in prep.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Where's lifestyle now?
Lifestyle.
Right.
So when you have that first show, I didn't have this expectation that, oh yeah, I'm about to slay this stage for these women. Oh yeah. You go in confident, wanting to do your best, right? But you should have a level of respect for the other people that's there.
Because they more than likely put the same work in, if not maybe more or less. So I want to transition now to your current life, and you mentioned earlier that you're a scientist. So go into exactly what you do now. I know you're part of Body Symmetry as well, which is a facility that does a lot of awesome stuff. So you can elaborate on that.
My background in wellness or healthcare is I'm a clinical laboratory scientist or medical technologist. You get sick, you go to the hospital or doctor. Right. They draw some blood work or saliva, bodily fluids. They send it somewhere, you don't know where. Well, it comes to somebody like me.
Oh, so it comes to you.
It comes to me. So I'm sitting at a microscope, I'm looking at your blood, I'm playing in your piss. To figure out what's wrong with you.
Wow.
So I'm really the person, or a person like me, who's diagnosing you and then telling the doctor. But he or she gets the 6-7 figure income.
So you do all the work.
We do all the work.
I always wondered where my blood or whatever went to.
It comes to me.
Put a sticker on it and send it off.
And it just goes like, like it just disappears. Well, it comes to little lab rats like me. So that's what I've done for many, many years. Okay. And then I got into fitness by accident somewhat, right? Because I was overweight, I lost weight, I had people wanting to ask me to help them lose weight. That's how I got into personal training. Yep. Then that catapulted into me being able to become a bodybuilder, which is what I always wanted to do. Right. But with Body Symmetry, which is a medical spa here located in Atlanta, I'm able to merge both of those backgrounds and all of those skill sets that I have in my healthcare background and in my fitness and wellness background together, because what Body Symmetry does, I manage one of the newest location, but I do pretty much everything. My hands is in everything. So we do IV hydration therapy, testosterone replacement for men. We help with menopause support for women. We have laser hair. We have acoustic lipo, which is non-invasive. It's really more of an anti-aging type clinic. Okay. So a lot of my patients are just regular Joes and Janes, but a lot of high-profile people. Have you ever wondered why people like Schwarzenegger and all these guys, why they're still able to do what they do when they're 60 and 70?
So you're telling me it's because of you?
It's because of people like me and the type of services we provide.
I gotta look at that.
You need to call it.
So if somebody wants to reach out for that, is there a website they can go to? Or?
Yeah, bodysymmetry.com. Just Body Symmetry. Okay. Yep, bodysymmetry.com.
Tell them GiGi sent you.
The Sandy Springs location. Because we have multiple locations.
Okay, that's good. So really quickly, I want to also not forget about, you have a radio show?
No, we do not. I do not have the show any longer. Body Talk with GiGi. That's me. Yes. And Melody Marie. Yes. We went on hiatus for a short while. Okay. Had plans to go back on, but then Melody had some personal things to come up. Okay. And then I had some personal things to come up. And so we have not been able to align everything and get things back going. Okay. In the station. So when we kind of can do that, we will. But we ran our show for about a year. Yeah. And it was quite popular at World Star. We were actually their #1 rated radio show. 2 little unknown fitness girls.
Yeah, I hope it comes back up. I want to wait for that.
Yeah. So
I like that. All right, really quickly, I asked this of all my guests. What is your favorite cheat meal?
Oh, I don't know if that really works for me.
Which means probably not even cheap.
Yeah, because I just eat. Even in competition mode, like right now, I just eat. I'm not eating like according to numbers, macros, a plan. I just eat.
Just eat.
Which is why everyone is like, oh my God, I love the Fitbit GiGi. But if I'm in competition, I really don't focus on cheat meals either.
Okay.
I call them more like rewards. And I don't, let's say, before I have a competition, the day before, like the night before,
Yep.
I like to have like, because I'm a good old American girl. I like cheeseburgers.
I knew you was going to say
Cheeseburgers, fries, and
Get them
milkshakes.
carbs in you.
Like, I've actually been at a show, and in between the show, and I'm eating the big old juicy cheeseburger with the carbs. I mean, with the fries. I'm not just crazy. I mean, I'll eat pizza. I like pizza, but I'm not like one of these pizza that people's just like, oh my God, I gotta have pizza.
Oh yeah,
so probably I guess a burger with fries.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Some good burgers around here. Good burgers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I noticed that. All right. So last but not least, how can our viewers get in contact with you? With your Instagram, social media, all that?
I can be found. I have 2 pages. I have my personal and my professional. Personal is GiGi _ Gatson-17, and my professional is Bodied by GiGi on Instagram, and on Facebook I'm Tabatha Gatson-Washington.
There you go. I want to appreciate you and thank you for coming.
Thank you. I
on the
appreciate
show.
the invite.
It was great interviewing you again. This is Jazz for Behind the Body. Look forward to our next show. Until then, see you next time.